Dark here on my end. And we're live. We have 3 minutes and we're going to just take a pause and wait on 7 o'clock. I might leave it open. I think that will make time.
Don't double tap, double tap. Hi, Miss Betty.
Oh, hello.
How are you doing on this fun afternoon?
I am not Miss Betty.
You're not Miss Betty?
I am not. I am about to start a session. I think it did a quick invite and I may have done something wrong, but you can exit. Sorry.
It's okay. Bye, Miss Betty.
Betty. I have to cut that off there. Mm-mm. Lord. I'm not inviting anybody to play catch beans. It's no game here. This is serious, and it is 7 o'clock. I like to respect everyone's time, so I am going to go ahead and start addressing the things and sharing things that I think all stakeholders meaning anyone who has a stake in education, being it you are a teacher, an administrator, a parent, community advocate, just community period, where a school is. This link and this session is for you. Just sharing some things that myself as an administrator and as an educator, things that I've learned that I think is integral in what stakeholders should know with regards to education. I do want to start out with sharing that a lot of parents, in my experience, are not privy to or understand the importance of keeping open lines of communication with the schools, meaning making sure that you have up to date information within the schools. If your phone number changes, I say within 24 hours, your school should have that. Because I don't know about you, I don't know if something happens to my child and I'm not notified. And oftentimes, parents will come and say the school did not contact them, but in actuality, they have not been accountable in making sure that the correct information is there at the school. So, on behalf of hello, yes, ma'am, live guest, and Miss Maria is here, ready. Hey, hey. When she gets in, greetings, Miss Maria.
Hey there.
I am starting out. Of course, you're right on time. I was just sharing, just as we did with our new teachers. I am sharing things with stakeholders, and I said that is parents, families, communities, even the teachers, the students. the community activists, people who want to make a change in education. That's anyone who even has a school in their neighborhood should be privy to all this information and things that we can talk about here. You know, we may have people come on here talk about the bus driver not driving the bus route right, and the kids standing up on the bus. I've had
Hmm.
people in community ask me that, why are the kids always standing up, and they teach us bus safety, okay? And then I tell them what they need to do to report it. You know, always a teachable moment. I have it dark in here. I'm at the probably cut another light on. The other thing is communication. I shared with them the importance of communicating, making sure that they are communicating with the school, and not only communication, but being accountable to making sure that schools have their up-to-date information. A lot of teachers, I told them I don't know about them, but with my child, if there's a call from the school or something happens to my child and I'm not privy to the information as soon as it happens, I feel some kind of way. But oftentimes, it's because parents haven't given their up-to-date phone numbers. You know, some parents change their phone numbers like they change clothes. So you have to be really focused on that aspect of it all. I also want to touch bases on educating and letting them know about MTSS and making sure that I lost you, but I still see you responding, Miss Maria. Do I need to send you another one? Do I need to send you another invite? Okay, I send it to you again, just in case. Um, but them knowing about MTSS, a lot of parents don't know what to do. And MTSS stakeholders is multi-tiered system of supports. So if you ever have a situation, say your child is not learning at the level you think that your child should, or you're receiving reports that your child is not performing on their correct academic level, you can ask your teachers, what are you noticing? What plan do you have in place? And that plan should fall along that MTSS plan. All children get tier one. All children in the school get this universal plan of instruction. We may use an online learning management that will capture real time data on if the children are performing on these skills a certain level. But when they're not performing, and you notice that, it's not going to be the first week or the first couple of weeks. We look at 30 days of data. I say roughly 6 weeks of school data. If the children are not progressing, they're not showing any growth. Growth can be 1.2, whatever it is. If they're not showing growth, teachers should be putting something in place that will help that child get additional practice, and an alternate differentiated, which is an alternate way, another way that's specific to that child's learning styles to help them gain the knowledge necessary. Will all children do that? No. You may have to go to tier three, which is having them have a long term plan or something that is not just 2 days a week of you pulling them aside and working with them. It may be 3 to 5 days. But still, just knowing that a plan exists is what most parents don't know. And a lot of times, if you're not communicating to follow up with a teacher, don't wait on the teacher to call you. You contact the teacher. Good, bad, concerned, all the same. Always start with the good when you're talking to your teachers. Let them know. Just let me know something good if they're not giving you that. Because I'm sharing with new teachers, they should be giving the good, then tell you their concern. There is no bad because I am a restorative practitioner. So the word bad is usually not one that I like to use in my vocabulary. Would you like to add to that, Miss Maria?
Um, just to say, it's it's so hard whenever you're in the classroom with 30 kids, and that's a lot of children. It's hard when you're in a classroom with 30 kids because all 30 of those children learn differently. And
Mm-hmm.
it's with a veteran teacher, it sometimes can be intimidating. Still, after 10 years of teaching, you still don't get the hang of it, because what's migrating into the classroom now is children they are very highly cognitively inclined, but they have behaviors. So you're going to see all kinds of things going in. We have now where um, the little kids. I love the little kids. Where the little kids, they're very smart, very articulate, and everything, but they have so many behaviors. And back in the day, we used to say, "Oh, they're bored," and a lot of times it's that that teacher has 30 little bitty kids in the classroom, and it's so hard to keep up with that 30 and to come up with a plan and to figure out what's going on. They need to get assistants back into those kindergarten and classes, probably up to first grade, and so you give them an opportunity and a chance to get to know those kids. It's December before you even try to figure out what kind of plan you have for the child. So I think classroom, we got to start speaking up and advocating, even for ourselves as educators, and saying, "Hey, I'm a little I'm a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit stressed right here. I have these kids here, these kids here. What do I do?" You know, there was a time whenever we had the lower level learning kids grouped in one class, and the middle, the average kids, and then the high learners in different classes. Now everybody is all, it's a lot of, different levels of learners and everybody. And I heard a teacher say, I'm tired of teaching these low kids all the time. And, I just want some achievers. And I got offended simply because, first of all, you're looking at a kid that is an achiever.
Right.
You're looking at an achiever, however, at their level. And then the lower they are, the higher they go. You don't understand that a child that has these difficulties and may have some complexities in how they learn or whatever it is, when that child gets on the groove and you doing your job and they start learning, that soaring is immense. And you see that kid, the attitude changes, the dynamics of what they bring to the classroom changes. They start to talk to you different. They start to talk to their classmates different. It's immensely just over the top, overwhelming, just beautiful. But you got to give it time. Just give it time. And then being a veteran, you know that. It takes a minute. But I've seen so many veteran teachers complaining about what they would call an underachieved child, a child that's struggling. We got to stop that. We
And
got.
that's your job. They don't realize. I usually say what people won't say. That's your job.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
part of the job. You know what I'm saying? You sign up for. I've had many situations where I question. I'm a true advocate. Those who know me, I am a
yes,
true advocate. And I will say I have a problem. I've worked with someone that said, "Well, I don't see color." Well, I'm gonna need for you not to teach my melanated babies, because if you don't see color, that's a problem in itself. That's
mhm,
automatic subconscious oppression. You have
yeah.
to see color in order to make the most gains, build those relationships, and to put something out there. Hey, Miss D, Miss Latoya, another one of our parents. I wanted to have her here as well, Miss Maria, because I like when she shares little things that makes her students. She has girls that makes her students like preparing them for the school year, having the little
Yeah.
journaling pouches, preparing them so they can feel comfortable in their space when they're at school. To
Oh, yeah.
segue into that, I had a young lady this morning when I got my hair retwisted, and her mom brought her, and I always ask, I've always been with middle schoolers as an administrator. And I'll ask, what are you going to do when you get out of high school? Notice I
Mm-hmm.
never said, what do you want to do? I
Mm-hmm.
speak things into existence.
Yes.
And she told me she was going to have food trucks and she's going to do real estate.
Mm.
She's going
Mm.
to own two. She could even pinpoint down, I'm going to own two restaurants.
Okay.
10th grader. this
Mm-hmm.
year.
Wow.
Had that plan. So then I hit her with the question because I like to challenge your thinking. What
Uh-huh.
are you doing now in 10th grade, or what are you going to do this school year to prepare you for that? She said, well, next year I'm going to get in culinary arts in school.
Okay.
This
That's
year
what's up.
it's not offered to me. And I was like, look, and then you got a plan, you know where you're going.
Got
So
a plan.
I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
challenge all parents, stakeholders. You have children in school, middle school, high school. Will you pull that light on for me, please? Middle school, high school, Marcus. Pull that light on for me, please. Middle school, high school, you need to really start talking that language with them. In middle school, I created a college and career ready. There we go. I created a college and career ready thing where I exposed eighth graders to not only HBCUs because I don't like limits and barriers. So I was
That's
exposing
right.
Mm-hmm.
melanated babies that you're more than that. You can go to any school. But I
Yep.
also am a realist. We do 2 year schools. We do HBCU. We do private schools. We do all
Mm-hmm.
schools.
Yeah.
But then we look at the possibilities of if you don't want to do that, these are the things you have. And I will have a career day, and I invite the parents that come in there were professionals. I have professionals from the community. I learned 4 years ago that you didn't have to go to school to be an EMT.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
learned that you can go and get a like 6 month training and they place you on the job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm talking what was it 18, 19? Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's just like this form here is gonna be great. Like take 5 oil change. You gotta be 18. All these kids out here running the streets. But you at
Mm-hmm.
18 can go to take 5 oil change. They would teach you how to change oil and you'll have a job.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying? A lot of parents, I think these stakeholders need to come here. Not only will you get what you need for school, but you'll think out like taking the kids back, getting the kids back to a space
Yeah.
like we were.
Yes. I have one thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm in education as well.
Right.
And when I'm in this classrooms as a long-term sub, I notice our people, the kids are in class, and I had one that say to me, they say, "Well, Miss D and D." I said, "Yes, ma'am." Well, the teacher over there wouldn't let us turn the lights off because we're not in honors. And they said, "Well, how do you feel about that?" And I said, "Well, let me tell you something. All children are the same." I said, everybody learns different and everybody is smart in their own way. I said, but at the end of the day, I said, majority of the people that's in honors are in honors because their parents know someone and that's why they in it. I said, but one thing you have to understand is that the parents don't have to do this work. The students have to do it. And it
That's
affects the students at the end of the day. Because
mm-hmm.
as you go higher and higher in high school, the work is not easy. It's
I'm
harder.
telling you. Yep.
And parents don't realize that. And they look down on our people. But me as an educator,
Mm.
I'm that type of woman that when I walk in that classroom, I speak volume to them. I'm going to listen to my church music before they come in. I'm going to pray. I'm going to do everything it is. I'm that person that you come in, I'm your teacher, but I'm also someone you can come and talk to.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. We need more of our people in education. Because if you look at these schools, you might see out of all the teachers, you see 10 black teachers. And we need
Mm.
more male teachers because male teachers
You
can
sure
make a
do.
difference in the black little boys that doesn't have a father around. And they don't understand. It takes a village to raise a child. I'm
So
sorry.
why do you think like looking at it, um, I'm hearing what you guys are saying because representation is big.
It
Mm-hmm.
is.
Representation, I just come from a principalship where the school was maybe 2% in administration and teachers like me,
Mm-hmm.
but served 48% like me.
Mm.
And in those situations, where's the culture? I believe in having a culture of relevance,
Yes.
and everyone knows when I think when I say cultural relevance. I want to have this on here so everybody will understand.
Yeah.
That does not mean black and white.
Nope. It means everybody.
Because I have some of
Absolutely.
my melanated sisters who grew up gold spoon to mouth. But
Mm-hmm.
me, I didn't grow up that way.
Mm-mm.
I know
So
you didn't.
still, they
That
don't
part.
understand my culture
Mm-hmm.
because I grew up from the have-nots.
That's it.
Come on
And
with
I'm
it.
making opportunities for myself where
Come
you've
on.
had it handed to you.
Yes.
Come on with it.
So
I was
with
right there
most
with you.
teachers, yeah, and within a school setting, you'd be surprised how I always have to when you have adults that are not practicing and being the role models that they need to be for
Yeah.
those
Yes.
students. And if you have a teacher talking about another teacher when they turn their back, how do you expect the kids to not talk about each
That's
other?
right.
You
That's
Lead
know,
right.
by an example.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm big on all that, but at the same time, undergrads don't push for representation.
No,
We
they
have a
don't.
stigma. And I say this, and I'm gonna say it, and I say it to the rooftops. We black teachers are good for discipline
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
doing the work to make someone else's name look good. But when it
That.
comes to putting you in a
Jesus.
Yes.
spotlight, I have 13 years of data. All my data has always been above and beyond. I can run a school just from presence and not voice.
I
Come
know
on
you
now.
can.
You understand? But when it comes to me being in this position against someone who is my counterpart that's not like me, they'll give
Mm-hmm.
it to her because they look out for each other. That's
That.
my
Mm-hmm.
perception.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
my proven perception in 13 years.
Yeah.
And there was
Mm-hmm.
someone like me that saw what I have in me that moved me to that spotlight. That's
Yeah.
why I founded Authentic Exposures Academies. I believe in making opportunities for myself. And what
Yeah.
I'm going to do is make those opportunities a reality. And being that I am a researcher by nature, I'm going to research the outcomes when I put that in place to show that I've been telling you this, you didn't
Mm-hmm.
listen. Because we do build those relationships. We actually genuinely care. And kids know.
Who cares and who
Kids
don't?
know how you make them feel in that moment. I've
Mm-hmm.
had kids, I'm so stern, but those kids love me. They
That's
relatively
right.
stern,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Dr.
I do the
Wilkins,
same thing. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
because they're going to come to me. They trust that I'm going to handle the
That's
business.
right.
Yep.
So, I got another person I'm about to invite in. I'm inviting you in, Miss Ty. So, I wanted this to be an open forum for all. Like, you may have nieces, nephews, kindergarten, elementary school, high school, middle school. What is it that we're going to have to do as a culture to change? Hello, Miss Ty, to change the
Hey, Dr.
narrative
Auntie.
for everything. You know what I'm saying? But just asking that 10th grader and her being able to tell me lets me know her parents doing right. You're having those discussions. You're not
Mm-hmm.
limiting your child. You know what I'm saying? The other thing I want to talk to, because this is gonna be a good one here, bullying.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it a bit with new teachers, well, on our session with them. Just parents being vigilant. You
Yeah.
don't always have to have the discussion with your kids, but know the signs. Because when
Yes.
Yeah.
my son was younger, he would not tell us he was being bullied. And his bullying thing was people saying stuff to him. Just saying stuff
Yeah.
to him, teasing him. He didn't see
Mm.
it, but as Miss Maria said earlier, parents need to be educated on what bullying actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Because bullying is not always what we think it is. We think somebody said something to our child one time too many is bullying.
It's not.
Mm-mm.
The victim determines what's bullying. The victim determines if they're harassed. The victim determines how it makes them feel. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
everybody needs to realize. It's up to the victim to tell you, I felt disrespected when they did this. I
Yeah.
felt a
Mm-hmm.
harm mentally, physically,
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I felt this way. And that's when, as I shared, I use anti-bullying contracts. I believe that children need to be educated first. I don't care if they're elementary, middle, high. They need to be
That's it.
educated. This is
Mm-hmm.
bullying. I already told you what bullying is. So if you come back and you do it later, this is going to be the consequence. And
That's right.
again, consequences are restorative. Consequences are
Yeah.
not, punishments. You're going to lose this. Every consequence has to come with something that's tangible and something that they can apply to their adult lives. You get what I'm saying? It's something,
Yep.
reflect this, remember this, don't do this, moving
Mm-hmm.
forward. What do you ladies take on that?
I just came to testify because I'm like one of the first-hand witnesses of your long journey with this and how well connected you really are with the kids and how kids that you taught in the 8th grade years ago are grown now, literally with 3 kids or more, and they are still very connected to us. And like me being your niece, I still talk to some of your old mentees, and just that impact that you have always had on on the community and how genuine you are about wanting to uplift our youth. But I didn't want to stay long. I was telling you that I cooked some Salisbury meatballs today. You would be proud of me, and I'm
Well,
very
I'm
proud
proud
of
of
you for your
you.
journey.
Well, all right, ma'am. I'll
I love
see
you,
you
Auntie.
later. Love
Love
you.
you.
But yes, what do you think, Miss Maria and Miss D? Chime in on that bullying. What do you think? What's something that we can leave on this live so that everybody will know some tips that you do yourself with your own children?
I think for the most part that when it comes down to bullying, like I said before, first of all, you need to know the parameters around it. That's
Mm-hmm.
first. The second thing is when you know that there is an instance that it is happening, you need to drop everything and deal with it immediately. Because a lot of times, especially the younger the child is, those aspects may not be fresh with them if you wait too long, and then they'll go back and be with that person, and that gives that person the opportunity to even go deeper with the bullying and to go into other facets of it. So if you deal with it immediately, it first of all lets the person that's being bullied, lets them know that I hear you, I see
Mm-hmm.
you, and I got you. It lets them know. Then the second thing, it lets the person that's doing the bullying, I see you, I got you, I know what you're doing. And this restorative thing, what are we going to do to fix it? Because there's always a way to fix it and to make it right. Unless you got somebody that's just completely wicked in their spirit, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a positive response because nobody wants to be seen as a bully. Nobody does. I have seen instances though, especially little kids. I'm serious. Little small kids as young as the 3rd grade will stand up and say, "It doesn't matter. I don't care." I had a little kid at the school bullying. He knew what he was doing. He literally told the administrative team he didn't care. It was something going on at home,
Right.
and the majority of the time it is environmental. However, if you get into them and get close to them and really really share with them, you have to do it more than one time, that it's wrong, how wrong it is, and then give them something relatable. Okay, you might not know how the child feel. Do you know how you feel when you get bullied at home? When you
Right.
put that aspect in it, then they kind of understand. Innocence is you have to look at it in a certain way, because even though children are children, a lot of children have lost that. They've lost what we call innocence. They look at all of this stuff that on
Social media.
media is a big, yeah, and everybody wants to be a influencer now, and everybody and you will do whatever you can to get followers and all of this stuff. So what we have to do is we have to make everything relative,
Right.
and we have to deal with it immediately.
Right. Parents, that include making sure you contact soon as your child comes home. Some kids be at school texting their parent if somebody saying something.
They do.
Call the
They
school
do.
right then. Document. I am a documenter by nature.
Yeah.
I get off of here. If I hang up with you, 5 minutes later, you getting a follow up email.
Yeah.
Everything that we had. And that
Yep.
way, if anything I'm saying, you can negate whatever you want to via email. Send it
That's
to
it.
me because I'm going to send it
Leave
to
a
you.
paper trail. Yep.
There you go.
And what do you think, Miss D, about all this? Tell us about with the bullying. What do you think?
Well,
Now my daughter, my middle daughter, now she was bullied. Now remember, I was at the school. I had sub that a long term sub,
Yeah.
and I didn't know what was going on because she never said anything about it. So one day I was sitting in the front office, and a parent came in, and she was like, I think your daughter was in a fight yesterday. So you know me, I'm thinking like, what? And she was like, what did she have on? She had a blue shirt on. I was like, yeah, she did. Now remind you, we went home together. We went back
Said
to the school for the
nothing.
school fair. So she didn't say anything to me. So the principal came and she said, I need to see you. She showed me, she said, I really don't supposed to show you this, but I'm showing you this. She showed me the video. And it was her.
Okay.
So you know me, she was on a field trip, so they came back and they called me down because I knew the assistant principal. So you know me, I'm asking questions, and she was like, "Mama," she said the girl just kept going and kept going and kept going,
Hmm.
and she said, "Mama," I said, "Why you didn't tell nobody?" She said, "Mama, if I would have did that, they would have called me a snitch."
Hmm.
Oh wow.
And I was like, she said, "Mama," she said, "they was talking about you, and they kept talking about me." And she said, "Mama, after that, I just swung off on her." She said, and I knew it was consequences behind it. She said, but had to let her know that I'm tired of you. So that was her first offense. So she got suspended for 10 days.
Right.
Now the other ones, they didn't get to come back. So it was just a fact that she had to sit at home for 10 days, and she understood. And like I told her, I said, Zoria, I said, you have to understand. I don't care what it is. I said, if they call you a snitch, I said, put a piece of paper under your principal's door and don't put your name on it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, because when you do that, they're never gonna know who did it. I
Yeah.
said, I said, your counselor told you to come and talk, and he said, I don't care what they call you. You come and tell me because I told you that them girls was no good.
Right.
Mm.
So when she tried out for cheerleading and she got it.
All
But do y'all not
right.
listen? But do y'all not know?
That changed the narrative.
But do you not know when the other girls they was able to come back and they tried out? Do y'all not know? They said you told her you only made it because of your mama works here. And
Wow.
you know what I told her? I said, you tell them you made it because God knew your talent and you was gonna make it regardless because God is within you. So God know what's best for you. And
Right. Pressure.
I don't
Right.
understand, like, they look at stuff and they run with it. And I teach
Mm-hmm.
my kids to not to bully. I said because bullying can have someone go home and write a letter and your name is in that letter and kill themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Speak up for yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that when that parent bring that note up there, your name is in it. They're gonna like, what did you do to this child? What did you do to my child? And
Yeah.
when I try to teach my kids, you got to know when to say stuff and when not to say stuff. Sometimes you might think it, but don't let it come out.
Right. Silence is golden. Silence is golden.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. To piggyback off what you're saying there, I write notes while you guys are talking to chime in.
Okay.
We have to. One thing that I did that was beneficial was, and if there's any administrators that will watch this, change the narrative on snitch. I taught my kids that there's no such thing as a snitch. A snitch
There you
is
go.
me sitting across the street looking out at my neighbor's house, wondering what they're doing at their house and calling everybody, telling them about it. That has
That's
nothing to
right.
do with me. I said, but
That's right.
whistleblowing. I said, whistleblowing is when it can impact you. It's in your community, in your classroom, in your climate. And when you put dye in water, does some of the water get black or does all the water get black?
All of it.
That's a
Oh,
whistleblowing situation. That's gonna taint everybody in there. And the thing is, I'm not gonna call you out. My kids felt comfort with me. My
Yeah.
kids, even now, they
hmm
know that they can call me. It's not going to be repeated. I'm going to tell them
hmm
this is what I suggest you do. Because even then, at young ages, elementary, they're learning the behaviors that's necessary to success.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Middle school, they're applying to see what's going to work for them for when they get in high school. It's
Right.
Hmm.
it's like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
that's why with SEL, I'm big on restorative. I do trauma informed. I need teachers to understand kids do have trauma, not the trauma that their
Hmm.
parents have made for them, not the
Mhm.
trauma that their parents want to use. Because most affluent kids, their parents want to make excuses. But I'm a
Yeah.
firm believer of you can love a child to death. Don't sit
That's
and allow
right.
your child to not have accountability measures while they're
Oh,
doing
come
things
on.
such as playing in school. We playing
Yeah.
in school, they're already oppressing us. And I'm not
Hmm.
talking to what I'm thinking. I can show you the data, national data, where we're not where we should be. And in actuality, we are. Do y'all see how many times we have kids that are prodigies, that are melanated kids?
Yeah.
You know, or
Hmm.
and my thing I say is back to us as educators. I'm gonna be accountable. Do I
Yeah.
what I do, but not every educator does it. So it still doesn't matter if I'm doing it if the other 1 million are not doing it. Because I'm
Right.
just one person, but I can make my impact on what I'm doing. And the
Yeah.
thing
Yep.
is, getting the representation in the schools.
Yeah.
Two,
Hmm.
letting parents know that there are MTSS measures, multi-tiered system of supports when my child does not succeed. Let them know what does it mean to have an IEP, a
Mhm.
504, a
Yes.
EL plan, making sure and holding the schools accountable to making sure your kids' plans are being followed. Some parents don't even know they have the kids got a plan. And
Yeah.
somebody made it
Yep.
some kind of way. I sat in on 3 meetings where I had to advocate for some people because they didn't know what was in the plans. Oh, well, the mama never come to the meeting. Did you invite the mama
Mm.
to the meeting? Well, don't
Yeah.
Yes.
worry about it because I'm here with her now. You know, so it's those types of situations where they don't know, and sometimes we just need to know.
Yeah, because I think it's really, really ugly. When you hear stuff, I don't know who dropped the ball. I think I do know who dropped the ball, but there was a report where the young man was thinking Mama thought he was getting ready to graduate, and he got all the way to the 12th grade and got all the way to graduation, and they told Mama that no, sir, your son is only in the ninth grade.
Ooh.
and
Mm-mm-mm.
and they were like, excuse me. They said that they have sent out so many teacher conference letters, so many letters in the mail. Hey, this child, they even said this child need to be retained. The mama
Mm.
said no, we're gonna work with them. Got all the way to the 12th grade, and the child was had no hadn't passed nothing, and that
Mm.
child was literally a ninth grader on paper. And the
No
mother
follow
was
up,
pissed. Yeah,
no
there was no follow
parental
up, no
follow
nothing,
up, and
nothing,
Mm.
schools. And that
nothing.
goes back to the first thing, communication.
Yep.
There
I
you
always
go.
say it, parents change,
Need.
some parents change their phone numbers like they change clothes.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
It's not your school's responsibility to find out what your number is when they're taking care of your child.
Yeah.
I used to
Yes.
even ask as an administrator, can we not refuse that child to come because that is a safety risk. That's a hazard. I don't want that child on these premises if I don't have anybody I can contact. I couldn't
Which
do
Right.
it at those public schools, but you
yeah,
best know in authentic exposures, do not allow your child to come to my school if you can't keep me an up to date number, and they will be checked weekly.
it's
Because
so
if
That's
there's
sad.
an
it.
emergency, I need to make sure that you are available to me. It's not my job. It's my
Yeah.
job to watch and ensure safety and academics. If you can't provide to me, how can I provide to you?
Yeah.
Right.
And it's dangerous. It's dangerous. What if that child has an emergency at the school and you can't reach
Oh,
out to them? That is sad.
Hmm.
Then you calling the ambulance, and then that parent, what you calling the ambulance for? When we couldn't get in touch with you.
and you
You
have to
just
go.
create. I even heard it. You created a bill. No, no, no. You want me to be liable? No. We did what we followed protocol.
Right,
And if that's something that you got to deal with, that's something you got to deal with.
right.
We gonna have to handle things the way we need to handle them.
Yes.
Yes.
And with the IEPs and 504s, a lot of parents feel like when their child or don't want to, and they know their child needs to be on one, they will not put them on one because I don't want my child to be in a slow class. It doesn't mean that.
That
Yeah,
means
I don't mean that.
that means to give your child extra time on a test,
Right.
extra something. If it means your child needs extra time on the I ready, extra time or a different type of test, instead of you giving a written test for them, you
Tell it.
giving them a multiple choice test.
Tell
They
it.
don't understand what an IEP is and a 504 is. They look
Yes.
at it, oh, you think my child is slow. No, your child needs this, because if you don't get this for your child, when they get to high school, they're going to be so far behind, because if you don't pass a class in high school, you back in that class.
Right.
Hmm.
And
And you
and
don't
the
pass it
parents
until it's
don't
done. You're right. But
see
you
it.
know what,
And then
Miss
you
D?
might be, say for
Go
instance, if
ahead.
I'm in high school and I'm in the
Mhm.
ninth grade and I didn't pass English.
Right.
Okay, I went to the 10th grade, but guess what? I'm
Still got to take that
behind.
English one.
Still got to
Still
take
got
the
to take
English
that English
one.
one. Right.
Yes.
Right.
So parents don't understand, with your child, you have to have communication with the school. It's very important, because you can't go by what your child tell you. You gonna have to go up
No.
to that school and make sure they telling you the right information.
Yeah.
I'm
If
gonna tell you
they call
this.
you,
With
mm-hmm,
IEPs, y'all, I have
mm-hmm,
seen them pass those kids alone with those gaps.
mm-hmm,
That's why we have achievement gaps. And
Hmm.
parents, the more
mm-hmm,
parents are more concerned with the child being in their right grade than what they know. Parents,
Yeah.
thank you,
IEPs and learning plans are confidential. Nobody knows
mm-hmm,
that your child has an IEP 504EL plan. But plus, they've taken away self contained classrooms as
mm-hmm.
much as more inclusion. Inclusion is where there's a teacher that comes in as an additional support. So
A
Yeah.
there's all
co-teacher,
kind of
yes, ma'am.
things. Right, right.
I'm gonna tell you something that what we don't know. In the everything is about economics, really.
Mm-hmm.
People that have a high economic status, they literally put their children on IEPs so
Yeah,
they can get the extra time, so they
Mm-hmm.
can get the accommodations.
right.
They do it on purpose
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
because they literally and they hold fast to this is private. Nobody ain't
Right.
gonna know.
Are you
Mm-hmm.
That
servicing
teacher
my
better not
child?
say
Are you
nothing about it.
servicing my child?
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
They will sue. They will do everything. You
Mm-hmm.
better look. But what they don't understand, them private schools and them public schools that with the on the side with the high echelon children,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
baby, just about every child, whether they smart or not, whether they smart or not, have IEPs. Let me tell you something that I learned. There's a county down here, Gwinnett County, and I remember this. You remember when oh my God, it was Common Core. You remember when
Yep.
Common
Common
Core was
Core.
first
Yeah, I
was
remember they had
first
a
adopted
situation.
in?
Yeah.
Okay, down here in Atlanta, in Gwinnett County, there was a young girl. She had made she was all her scores were high, up top, everything. She was the valedictorian of her class. Do you not know that she could not pass the end of course test?
Mm.
They gave her test after test. You start taking it what in the ninth grade or something like that, Tiff.
Yes.
Mhm.
She took it every year and was taught. Now in the classrooms, all in the classrooms, everything top made all of these top of the line had an I. They found out she had an IEP. They found out that she had all these accommodations and plans, testing and everything. Very smart little girl, but she was not a good test taker.
Mm-hmm.
And in her test did not show that she was that smart in the classroom. But the teacher was like, I always gave her.
Subjective. Call Tasha. Call Tasha. Uh-oh. My bad.
You're
Sorry.
fine.
So, I'm sorry. My
You're
phone
You're
went
fine.
off.
fine.
I tell my honey, okay.
You're
Um,
fine.
looking
But
at
yeah, that
subjective,
happened here.
that goes back to subjective though, Miss Maria. Anybody could put grades in a grade book, but that's why educators, I'm even letting parents know, and all stakeholders. I challenge you, talk to the teachers. Make sure that they're using those, like I said, online management systems.
Yeah.
Anybody can say a
Mm-hmm.
child is scoring something, but are you making sure that that child is actually performing these things?
Performing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a
So
lot of
we,
students, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
Because a lot of students, and I tell my students this all the time, that you can have somebody that's in the 10th grade,
Right.
but on a 4K reading level. That
My
makes people don't understand. It doesn't matter what grade you in. You have to look at their scores and their reading level. A lot of kids are up in a higher grade, but down in a lower level in reading. And to me, it makes me sad because
That's
baby.
the majority, baby.
kids,
That's the majority,
Yeah, it
and
is.
yes,
especially ours.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
but you sitting
Mm-hmm.
here and your parents ain't even trying to come and talk to your teachers and saying what they should have been did it. And like I tell people all the time, all we doing is hurting our children if we don't put them on an IEP or 504, if we're not getting them the help because they're our future.
We
We're
better get
hurting
some help.
them.
But just keep
We're
in
not hurting
mind, though,
ourselves.
keep in mind, not every child
Mm-hmm.
needs one. But if the schools are
Right?
following the MTSS, ask your
Mm-hmm.
schools. I challenge everyone that even watches this video.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what we're saying. Even you guys, if you have somebody you know, ask them,
Mm-hmm.
ask your school, what is your MTSS process? What is the tier
Okay.
one supports that you provide to all your students? What is the tier two? I'm gonna ask you this, Miss D, since you say you're a long-term sub. Have they trained you on MTSS?
No.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
what do
And let me
you
tell you,
do?
and the reason why I know what it is because I'm still in school and I'm looking at my books and I'm like, okay, when I
See?
see a student and I'm looking at the level they're on, I'm like, you a tier one. Like you
So
just
what are you
you
gonna do? See, so at tier one, a lot, and you came in late on this. Tier one
mhm,
is like, say your baby goes to Sims Junior High.
mhm,
Tier one is gonna be those things that's every student uses Houghton Mifflin curriculum. Every student
Mm-hmm.
works in what was the one you just said? Not Achieve 3000, but
Common
uh,
Core.
what is it again?
Common Core.
Not Common Core. What is the iReady? Every
yep,
student at tier one works on iReady. It gives them a diagnostic. I've used it, so I'm familiar with that one. It gives them a diagnostic and any deficit areas aligned with whatever standard, state standards being used. It makes them a learning path when they don't so if they don't understand something to
mhm,
build those skills, right?
yes,
Your baby at tier one is not mastering at a 70% level, right? You
mhm,
you see this after 6 weeks, the first quarter of school. That's tier one. Okay, Miss D. Tier two is gonna be, well, I see that my child not working out this 6 weeks. Let's make sure that during enrichment time, I have the child working 45 minutes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, in addition to we working on it every day in class for 30 minutes at the beginning of class, right?
mhm,
So that's in addition, that's additional practice to make sure that that child has enough repetition to grasp the concept. Because keep in mind, it's not reading they're scoring, it's the reading comprehension, how they're
Mm-hmm.
comprehending what they're reading.
Mm-hmm.
Lexile
right,
levels. You know what I'm saying? So at
mhm,
tier two, the baby after 6 weeks, we see a little growth. We can either continue on that path or let's see if we can get a 504 together. Something that's gonna
mhm,
help. We're gonna focus in this 504 on allowing the child an additional 30 minutes to read the text or give a graphic organizer that helps the child to organize their thoughts of what they're extracting. Say we're doing text analysis. Give them a graphic
mhm,
organizer that has bold, italics, underline, so on. That's
mhm,
going to help them that they can use later as they're having to do common tasks. So a lot of you don't know this. New teachers don't know this. And I should have had you in that, Miss D. because the new teachers is where we're going to share those strategies. So
Mm-hmm.
not next week, but the week after, I'll start sharing
Okay.
strategies on graphic organizers. Literacy strategies is going to be our next one. So tell all
Mm-hmm.
your friends, tell your friends. Even some veteran teachers may need a refresher because I like things to be
Okay.
hands-on, experiential, and it's things that I promise you will work if implemented properly. And we're going to make sure you do that. Miss Maria's going to be available, and so on. This has
Yeah.
been a good session. I'm gonna let you ladies finish. I'm just getting all this in because when you're done, then we can let everybody and release everybody. Um, we'll be doing it 30 minutes, but I'm not limited to 30 minutes. We can go an hour if you need to. Anybody
So,
got questions? New people, I see you joined in, chimed in. If you have questions regarding education, just want to chime in on something, this can be a space where they come and vent respectfully because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be transparent and I'm going to be honest. You know, I'm an educator, but I'm not tied to anybody's school district. I'm my
yeah.
own brand.
Right.
I'm my own
Yeah.
CEO. I'm my own boss. So, with
Yeah.
that being said, I'm going to say what I know to be true, and we're going to make a change together because we're losing our children.
Mm-hmm.
Education is not fair,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but we're going to stand up and we're going to make it fair by our means and what we can do. We can't
Yeah.
change everybody, but we can change who we have access to.
Yes.
Okay, ladies,
Absolutely.
now I'll let you go with it. Any final thoughts, girls?
Honestly, I appreciate this forum, and allowing the release of the minds, and to just come together and just to put it all out there. The wealth of knowledge that you have, um, being a veteran teacher, it helps me as well. Brings back some of those things that I learned in school, but don't quite see all the time.
Right,
And
right.
I see hear the things that you're saying, with the level that you've been on as a principal, assistant principal, Nick's coming in as a superintendent. Come on with it. And then,
Come on
just
with
really,
it.
really just, hearing those things and then trusting us to be able to come in and to be on, to just talk about it. A lot of people with a doctorate, Dr. Wilkins, a lot of people don't want people, they only want people like them. They only want people that's got degrees with them. They only want people that's on the, they feel like on the level other people with doctor's degree. You've never had that. You've always let people be who they are. You've never thought yourself to be well over here, but I want to give you your flowers because
Oh,
you've
thank you.
always reached out to me and allowed me to come in and just love on you and you love on me, and we meeting of the minds and just going in and just enjoying each other.
I'm
And I love
learning
it.
from you, girl. I'm telling you, I learn from everybody. I don't want the
Yeah.
doctor minded. Doctor minded is the one thing I used to tell my principal when I was her Sam and did her calendar and ran her business and everything
Hmm.
that she needed to do. I tell her the reason that most principals and educators are not successful is because they forget that they were teachers. And
Oh
my
wow.
thing is, I'm a collaborative leader. I want to sit
Yeah.
with my team. I learn from my
Yeah.
team. Why am I
Mhm.
going to go make a path for you when you're doing the driving? I'm not going to tell you how to get to the destination. I'm just going to tell you where the destination is. And we're
Mhm.
going to come together on how we're going to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
I
everybody's
appreciate
road
you.
is different.
You have a wealth of knowledge. Like with Miss D, when I called, I was like, look, I need people who are impactful, who's gonna make an impact, who's gonna say it like it is. Because
Yeah.
too often we've had
Mhm.
enough fluff. Right
Yes.
now, we're in a state of emergency. We've been in a state of emergency, but
Yes.
Yeah.
now I'm in a capacity. That's why I went to get my doctorate to be in a capacity to be heard. And it's sad
Yeah.
that I created two curriculums and wanted to wait till I became Dr. Wilkins to publish them. And it hadn't been an easy
Right.
thing, but I'm self-taught with my doctorate. I went and did
Yeah.
that on my own. I'm self-taught with my nonprofit. I went and did that on my own. Plus, I'm looking for volunteers, guys, for my 21st century leading ladies and my 21st century distinguished gentlemen, which will be coming to a school near you. I'm
Yeah.
looking for college
Mm.
volunteers now. I'm gonna want these my volunteers to come into school buildings on set days in all school districts to spend time with those most needy, vulnerable, trauma filled children to give them an
Yeah.
outlet. So I'm working on that. But just to go above and beyond, I just want to make a change. I want to be
Yeah.
the change I'm hoping to see, and I need you guys to do it. I don't need somebody with a doctorate. They can't even give me $1 to open a school. So why do I need that? I
Right.
don't even need your knowledge. I know the knowledge because I've done the work. I put in the work. I know what's needed.
Mm-hmm.
I need your ideas to see what's working with you. I need
Yeah.
Miss D's ideas, because her culture is different from yours, Miss Maria. I
Absolutely.
want to have 100 different coaches on this call. That's my goal by the next meeting. So
Yeah.
bring the people in. Bring them in.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I sent out so many a lot of people do stuff on Sunday, watching ball games and doing stuff and
Oh, I got the
tailgating and
ball
stuff.
game right here. I got it in my earshot. I had to turn it down. I got to multitask that thing because I'm football, but I was like, this is more
Yes.
important.
Yeah.
Yes.
This right here. And
Mm-hmm.
I love you guys and thank you so much. We're going to meet. What's today's date? The
21st.
21st. We
21st.
will meet not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. But you'll see me post like I did today, meeting
Yeah.
at 6 and then at 7. So
Okay.
you come in. Y'all are my regulars. Y'all might have to be moderators as we get big. But we
Sure.
out here.
Okay.
Taboo talks with Dr. Wilkins. And I mean, there's nothing taboo. We talk about it all.
Yep.
Okay.
You girls have a great remainder of your Sunday.
You
And you too.
too.
And be great.
And be great
Be
at it.
great. Yeah,
There you
right.
go.
I was trying to
Bye.
time. If you can't be great at it. You said
That's
it.
There
right.
you go.
Have a good one, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.